With us now is our adventure correspondent, Fran Capo. Bum, 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 bum. Hi.
Hi. And here we are again.
Okay,
so now this time I want to talk about really, I moved to Florida.
Yes.
So if the people in Florida go, how do you find out about these places? Because I get in my car and I drive and I look for unique places.
Okay.
So Florida is known for alligators. Okay, they're supposedly running around everywhere. So far, I have not seen an alligator. A couple of snakes, a couple of bobcats. No alligators. So I needed to go out and find an alligator, and I even brought you with me.
I did.
Now, but before you came to Florida to visit me, I checked out like 5 or 6 different airboat places, and the best place that I found was Swamp River Fever Airboat. Now, I have to, it's in a lake here, Lake Peniscoflufky. You know what, people, you got to look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason this is so cool is because you go out on the lake because you're hoping to see the little head of the alligator and stuff. But here, they have the pet alligator, as you know, and it's not a small one.
No.
You get to hold this thing.
It's about as tall as us almost.
Exactly.
Right? By the time you count the tail.
The tail is down to our feet.
Right.
And, it's got its little head over there. You feel like burping it like a baby, And then at least when you're doing this airboat adventure ride, which is awesome, zooming in and out and doing the things, you could say you actually held an alligator. Right? And they were teen alligators. I remember they were very attracted to us.
And Ian did a fun job like putting our footage from that together. So you want to take a look at that?
Yeah, I think we should see it.
Let's take a look.
I'm Donna Drake.
And I'm Fran Capo.
And today we're going on
an airboat ride. And we're going to see a whole bunch of alligators in the swampy waters.
Woohoo! And some dollars.
Dollars?
Yeah, it's a plant.
Oh.
I heard that there's dollars out there.
Maybe
Stay
we can take
tuned.
them.
Let's live it up.
Dollarweed, also known as pennywort, is a warm season perennial weed. It gets the common name dollarweed from its silver dollar-shaped leaves. The leaves of dollarweed are round, bright green, fleshy, and look like miniature lily pads measuring 1 to 2 inches in diameter with a scalloped edge. Cypress trees, the most flood-tolerant of all Florida tree species, grow in areas that are covered in water for longer periods than the surrounding marshlands. 2 species of cypress occur in the Everglades, the bald cypress and the pond cypress.
Reach over, grab the top. Up. Yes, that's the top.
That was fun.
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah.
So Ian B. Leopold, he actually won an award from his college for being like the best editor this year.
And now you have.
Yay!
Hey, very good, Ian.
Yes.
Always got to give,
Yes, exactly.
Congrats to the people. So the next adventure, so when I first moved there for my birthday, I was looking around for adventures, and I find in Dade City, Florida, they have Giraffe Ranch. So I figured, all right, you go there, you see a couple of giraffes. No, this is not like a zoo. It's a private-owned farm. Let's see, it's how many acres? It's 20 years owned by the same family.
Okay.
And it's a working farm, and you can go in there. But the cool thing is you could ride camels around the whole acreage. Then after you ride the camels, they bring you to a spot and you could actually feed giraffe, feed giraffe. There are rhinos. You could feed the rhinos out there.
Rhinos.
Yeah,
Wow.
you could feed the rhinos. There's a place in Ohio called the Wilds that you could also do that. That's a whole different adventure. But this place, if you don't want to ride the camels, you can go trekking with llamas.
Now, trivia question.
Yes.
Trivia question. Do you know what color a giraffe's tongue is?
Black.
Yes. Ding.
Okay, well,
Can't
listen,
stump you.
I fed the
You
thing.
saw enough, right?
Very long tongue. You can't miss that black tongue. It's like a lizard.
Where's Gene Simmons,
Yeah,
right?
right.
From Kiss.
Yeah, he'd be jealous.
He would be jealous.
You should put
Okay.
a little Kiss shirt on the on the giraffe.
Exactly.
So that was kind of cool because when we were showing those pictures, people were going, "Are you in Africa?" I'm like, "No, I'm in Florida." But you have to look for things. Now I know you did this next adventure.
Okay, what is
it?
it?
It's in Ona, Florida, which is kind of like in the middle of the state, like in the middle of nowhere on this farmland, and it's called Solomon's Castle.
Yes. Love Solomon's Castle, one of my very favorite places.
You stayed overnight, right?
I did. It took us a while to get the reservation to stay overnight, but when we did, it was so worth it.
See, now
Actually stayed in the castle.
See, that is so cool. Now, let's the castle. So basically, there was this guy named Solomon. He was originally from Rochester, New York. And he decided, he moved to Florida because of an illness. So he moved to Florida and he decided, I'm going to build a castle. Now, this guy previously had lived in the Bahamas and had built discos and nightclubs and things. So he knew about building, but he didn't have the money. So what he decided to do was get discarded aluminum newspaper plates. So they would have the aluminum on one side and literally the head, the headlines of the newspaper would be on the other side. So the entire castle is aluminum, not one floor, 3 stories. And if you went underneath the spackle, you would actually see the headlines of the newspaper. This guy, it's so much fun because this guy is into puns. So you saw the whole the castle. So for example, for those of you who have never been there, he would have like a tortoise shell, and then he would have a wig hanging out of it, and he would call it the tortoise and the hare. And he had things like that all over.
Very witty, super comical.
And
he loved to
whimsical.
sculpt. Yeah.
And now his daughter runs it. Unfortunately, he passed. His daughter runs it. But why stop at a castle? Because he was like, well, a castle needs a moat. So he built a moat. Well, you can't just have a moat with nothing in it. So he built a boat in the moat, and that's where you could have lunch.
Yeah,
and
the boat in the moat.
A boat in the moat. The boat in the moat. Yeah.
And the food's good there.
And the food is very good, and it's all fresh, farm fresh. But the other thing is if somebody goes, well, a castle's nice, a moat's nice, a boat's nice. But what about cars? The guy, if you take the extended tour, you could go to this long, warehouse farm, the farm building that he has that houses 1920s cars. I mean, originals, not
and they're
replicas.
restored so beautifully.
He restored them.
Everything is just
Yes.
it's a great trip.
And he has little airplanes that were pedal power for his little grandkids and stuff like that, which is just so awesome. So that is a jewel in the midst of a farmland out in the middle in Ona, Florida. And the other one I wanted to talk about.
Ample parking. I like it. It's
Yeah,
a great place.
it's really
And you're
good.
kind of making me, I usually say when people talk to me about toasted ravioli or St. Louis Cardinals, I get homesick.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little homesick for
the
Solomon's
castle?
Castle. Let's go.
We'll have to go. We'll have
Okay.
to make arrangements and go there
Let's
for the
go.
night. Maybe build another wing.
Okay.
So, now that made me remind this. I wasn't going to talk about this.
Yes.
I'm going to side thing here.
Okay.
Because that's in Florida. But in New York, if somebody wants to see a castle, there's a castle called Peter Wing's Castle.
Been there?
And
you've
you
been
know
there?
it. Yes.
Yes.
And you
Ding,
know
ding, 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 ding,
and you know
ding.
the story of Peter Wing's Castle. The guy gets married. He doesn't have any money. He gets drafted. He comes back. His father gives him a couple of acres of land. Doesn't know what to do. Starts taking all discarded things and builds a castle again with a moat.
Sustainable.
Yeah.
Right? Sustainability.
Yes.
At the forefront of taking just taking almost discarded materials.
Exactly. I don't want it anymore. I'll take it.
Didn't Solomon, didn't they have funny names for him too? I think he
Yes,
might have
that's
that,
true.
Right?
I wanted to. The Da Vinci of debris.
Okay.
The Rembrandt of reclamation. The Savior of salvage. The Wizard of odds and ends. I think that's so cool.
I do too.
Because you make something so beautiful out of something else that somebody doesn't want. And it doesn't look like garbage because you created it to look fantastic. And that's great. You're not dumping it in a dumpster somewhere. Now, for people who like the water and like to dive,
Yes.
or
Oh wait,
not
and there's
dive,
one more castle that you haven't been to yet, but I have been.
Which one?
Keane's Castle. Keane''s
Okay.
Castle.
And where is that?
And we'll talk about that on your next adventure.
Okay, sounds really
there you
good. Because
go.
now I have to go.
I know.
Okay, so the next one is for divers or snorkels or people just like the beach. Okay, there's a place on the west side of the west side. I'm on the west side. The west side of Florida. It's actually in the Palm Beaches under the Blue Heron Bridge. It's called Phil Foster Park. You drive up. You go, all right, it's a bridge. What's the big deal, right? I am telling you, divers from all over the world come here and snorkelers. And because there are boats in the middle, because you're literally under the bridge. You put your chair under a bridge, you leave your dive stuff, you walk out. Within not even in ankle deep water, you'll see starfish this big.
Really?
And they have a little trail, but because there are boats, you have to have a dive flag with you, even if you're snorkeling. And you go the whole length of the trail to the other side. It takes about 45 minutes. But yes, because this is the length of the trail. The trail goes like this, like a snake. It goes through the water. And you can see, because, I'm trying to make it very visual here. Yeah,
We're both Italian.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm Italian. I can't talk without my hands.
Me too.
Don't put your hands in front of your face, okay? Don't touch your face, all right? So what we saw, angelfish, parrotfish, octopus, spotted eagle rays. I mean, huge eagle rays. And then, of course, we saw a bunch of barracuda. And barracuda...
Barracuda.
Yeah, right. See, we got to break into song.
Yes.
And, the barracuda always have that one tooth hanging out that looks like... Oh, they do. They have one tooth. That's how you could always tell.
Aren't those piranha?
No,
those
no,
are barracudas.
piranhas are small.
I know,
ones
they're
like that. Barracuda are long, silver,
Okay.
and they have very steely, eyes that just kind of look around.
Shifty.
But they have that one tooth, like every one of them needs a dentist, okay? And they have that one tooth, and you look and you go, I know you cannot eat me fully, but you could take a nice chop out of me.
Yeah.
But if you leave them alone, they leave you alone, and you can go to Phil Foster Park.
That sounds so nice. So what did they do? They actually created like a coral reef
Yes,
of some
they
sort? Or what did
created-
they do? How did they get
To attract the fish,
Right.
they created a bunch, because fish only go to the coral reefs, so they actually have a statue of a hammerhead shark,
Okay.
and they put little coral around so the fish go to there. Then they dropped another coral reef. They created a coral reef. Then another one. So maybe every 30 feet is another reef, and the fish gather around it. So as you snorkel over them, remember in that pattern, right? You see them down below. And,
Nice.
And now the thing with this, and it's very important when you do it,
Okay.
you have to watch the tide tables.
Oh.
Okay? Because if you don't go at high tide, because people's fins will hit the sand and then you can't see anything. So high tide, you just have to watch, and it changes every day. So we had to go at 7 o'clock in the morning. Nobody else was up. Okay, so that was good. But then as it gets later in the day, they do it. And the reason is because, like I say, the water really drops. So much so that the boats that were out in beyond where the snorkeling path was, then got sandbound, and they had to wait for the water to rise again to be able to get out. You could literally walk on that sand in like maybe ankle deep, maybe knee deep water. So that's one of the things. But then across, within 300 yards, but you have to go around, take a taxi to get to it, there's an island called Peanut Island. And there's a little shuttle that goes there. And Peanut Island, again, you have to go low tide, you try to watch it. And coral reefs all over there, beautiful. And so my friend Vivian and I did that. And then, of course, there's some coral reefs in the natural ocean. We were out there, and the only problem is in Phil Foster Park, it's in an inlet. So what happens is the water's calm. And in Peanut Island, if you're on the inside of the coral reef, it's calm. If you go on the outside, then you're getting all the waves. You want to stay on the inside, because when you dive, you want to stay with your buddy. So we went out to the ocean because one of the dive masters told us about something out in the ocean. We go out in the ocean, and you want to stay by your partner. Within like 1 minute, she's there, I'm here. You look up, she's over there. And I looked up, and she goes, shark! I went, okay, time to go in. And we just went back in. I don't mind seeing shark if I'm scuba diving. Yeah. But you don't, oh no, he didn't even have his fin out.
No?
No. She was under
that's sneaky.
Yeah, it's very sneaky. You think sharks play by the rules? I don't think so. I think they talk to the barracuda and go, you take the first bite, I can get the rest. But usually they don't want to do it. But when you come head to head with a shark, but we didn't see see any shark in Phil Foster Park.
And if
Not
you do,
to-
though, aren't you supposed to like punch them in the nose?
Well, generally you just try
Or just
to keep them away.
swim faster.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you never want to. This is the thing you have to say to yourself if you see a shark, and this is true. They can sense fear.
Oh.
Okay, so you just have to stay calm. If you start swimming fast, they sense it. And the reason I'd rather see a shark when I scuba dive as opposed to when I snorkel is because when you're submerged fully under the water, you just look like another big fish. When you're on top of the water as a snorkeler and a shark sees you, that's why a lot of people on surfboards get attacked, because they're seeing this action. Okay, this action looks like a struggling fish because of the way you're splashing water.
Yeah.
And if you're in black, you look like a seal, which is one of their favorite foods. But if you're in the water underneath, they don't notice your, your flippers going because you're just going very smooth. I've been with 12-foot sharks in.
For the people in the audience that do not know who you are, can you just ramble off some of your like Guinness Book of World Records?
Sure.
Blah, blah. Okay.
Okay.
Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Because I know you. I mean, like,
Yeah, right.
We're
And
friends.
So I happen to be the Guinness Book of World Records fastest talking woman, collected 603.32 words a minute, which is 11 words a second. I'm a 22-time author. I'm a motivational speaker. Thanks to Donna, actually, she elected me and I became a TEDx talker. I did an 18-minute talk in under one. I did an 18-minute talk and then redid the entire talk in under a minute. I did a book signing at the top of Kilimanjaro and a book signing down by the wreck site of the Titanic. And I became the first woman to zip line inside an active volcano in Nicaragua. And then I also went with 21 chiropractors to the Dominican Republic. And in 3 days, we saw 21,365 people.
I think we should rewrite the 12 Days of Christmas, but make it like 12 crazy adventures, right?
I would love
Let's just do that too.
You would sing it.
Every day. I'll do it. I'll sing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sing it for you. So much fun. Okay, so let's make sure we didn't forget anything. So
We did peanut. Yes,
right?
those are the adventures so far that in Florida that I would recommend.
Okay.
There's many more, and obviously I'll be coming back on and talking about more things as I see them. But most people, they go to Florida, they think Disney, they think Universal, and there's so much more to see, and manatees.
So much fun.
So much more.
I know. I really enjoy it down there. I have a really good time.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah.
And Florida's like a big, long state. I mean, there's a lot in Florida.
There's a lot to do, and each area has its own different things. We're I'm in a place they call the Nature Coast. So we go, and you were a mermaid at one point. So
Yeah,
a lot of
you
people
are.
might not know that about you. Donna was a mermaid. And what people don't know is crystal clear water when you kayak, and you could just see the fish below. But when you go to where the West Palm, the Palm Beaches are, where that Phil Foster Park is, you're only a day's trip away from the Bahamas. So that's why all the Caribbean fish are right there, and you don't need to go to the Bahamas if you go there.
I'm happy.
I don't know what.
Yeah, you don't need a passport to go.
No, and that's the best part. And the
best
fish
part.
are not checking you for COVID. You could, it's like, you got the mask on, you're good.
No piranhas were hurt in this
No,
segment.
in this taping.
Okay, so I am Donna Drake, and this is Fran Capo, and we thank you as always for tuning in. Please follow all of our socials and send us your socials. We'll be happy to follow you back, because a lot of times that's what it's about. Like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, but now it's like I'll Instagram you, you Instagram follow me back. I mean, that's kind of how it works.
And Donna, maybe if your viewing audience would want to recommend an adventure that Donna and I should try
Let's
together,
do it. Write us.
we should do it.
Yeah, let's go. Join us. Come with us. Come with us. Right? Come on, let's do it. We can swim?
Yeah, we'll swim.
Swim.
Shark! Ah!